So we got two important holidays coming up. Tomorrow will be Mary Curry's 155th birthday, and the day after that there will be a lunar eclipse. I'm kind of excited because I've been talking about hunt brothering the market in bismuth and silver, and then we have a lunar eclipse, and lunar eclipses are uh, often coincide with major turbulence in the financial markets. We had a lunar eclipse just before the GameStop crisis. We had one just before COVID-19 began as well. And so maybe it really will pan out to what it is. But I want to point out a lesson I discovered while trying to request time off for the lunar eclipse. So I asked for the day after that off, and there was a little bit of haggling back and forth, and it was agreed that I'll go in a little bit later the following day, which is a good compromise. Especially, I still like it that way, because at least my boss is going to understand that when I go in, I'm going to be a little bit off, right? It's even if it wasn't the entire day off, at least now he's going to understand it if I go there and things are off. And if I finish the day and go back to the parking lot and fall asleep in my car and he sees me there, he probably won't think that's a terrible thing, right? I've had times where at a different job, actually, my boss was very concerned for me because I got out to the parking lot and I crashed. Anyway, so it's good to let the boss know what's going on anyhow. But I want to point out that in the past I had difficulty asking for time off because I was wishy-washy about it. So I was at a different tutoring center last spring, and the kids had spring break. And I was talking to my boss, and I said, I'd really like to have the spring break week off, but, the students really should come first, so why don't you let me know what the scheduling is like? Now, in the back of my mind, it really wasn't students come first. It was that if I could earn a few bucks, I'd rather stay. If not, I'd rather go. And my boss didn't know about the schedule the following week. You got to understand this was just as people were coming back from COVID. In the past, I think he required the students to kind of sign up a week in advance, but during reopenings, that wasn't really feasible. The end result is that he thought I wanted the students, but then the day before each of those days, he canceled my sessions. The end result is I ended up with no money, no vacation, and no respect. And it just goes to show that trying to be nice really backfired on me. And instead, if I just go, I want this day off, it could have gone a whole lot better. The other thing I learned is that unlike bismuth or silver or even GameStop stock, time is not really fungible, right? Having a few hours there and a few hours there, you can't coalesce having 2 hours every day into like a solid block of 48 hours where you could go somewhere, right? Time is also not easily divisible or fungible. So, for example, an hour where somebody you want to date is available versus an hour where the lunar eclipse is out is very different from any other hour, right? So it's not a store of value. You can't put aside some number of hours to use 100 years from now when there's a great lunar eclipse to view, right? Certainly the transit of Venus across the sun only happens every 112 years or so. You can't put aside time to go into the future, at least not with the technology we have today, to put aside time to see that 100 years from now, right? What are the other characters? So it's not a store of value. It's not divisible, not fungible. It's not quite a number of things, right? And so if we don't claim it for ourselves, we lose it. Now, the other problem at the tutoring center is that our tutoring center, we have a policy of not allowing the students to eat at the desk, but too many times I let it slide. I don't eat at the desk because I'm normally fasting anyway. And sometimes the kids are eating something at the desk and it's not something that I'm allergic to, and sometimes they're eating something healthy and I hate to tell them to put it away and I let it slide. And then the next kid comes in with something I'm highly allergic to and I have to speak up about it. and it just looks bad. And I keep swearing that the next time I see any kid eat anything at the table, I'm going to say something about it. But it's so hard to do. And then sometimes I allow the kids to overstay their time. And then, oh my God, I really want to get out at 8 sharp today to see something, and I can't let them go. And it just, if you break the rules once, it's very hard to put your foot down. Anyways, some lessons I learned these last couple of months.